Third. It is everywhere today, and let's break down what's going to be happening. Hello, welcome to Big Wick Energy, a 100% automated copy trading bot, fully managed by the Block Party trading team. It's exclusively available on Mizar, and if you want to get access, just head on over to mizar.ai, check out the marketplace, and we're right there. If you want a truly set and forget experience with automated trading, then this is for you. There is no monthly subscription. We only get paid if we win. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us grow and bring you more awesome content. Enough yapping, let's get into those trades. So it's going to be a bit of a shorter video today because I've got a lot to do. But we're going to start off like we do every day with BTC and what it's doing. And to be quite honest, it is playing out perfectly as we were expecting. And we have just broken down on this rather scary ascending trend line, which is basically the big ascending wedge. And for those of you that know, ascending wedges are pretty damn bearish. So what this is looking like is that we are expecting to see a fair bit more pain incoming. Now, we do have quite a lot of news from the Fed, from the US coming in today, and also Europe, actually. The UK just recorded its highest inflation figures in over 40 years. GDP numbers for Europe are flying in as well, CPI numbers today, and also the FOMC minutes are coming in. And I think there's a lot of speculation around them not being particularly bullish. So we can expect this to impact the market as well. In that case, it really dictates which route we're going to be going in regards to the style of trades that we're going to be doing for the Block Party portfolio, which in regards to longs is a big fat zero. We are not going to be trying to catch any knives here, and especially with so much weight that I've gone through over the past 2 days with the news that's incoming. Right now, I'm not expecting a bounce here, and if we do bounce, so be it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I am going to lose sleep over some really long-term unnecessary hanging trades. So let's take a look at some of the trades. So for the first time, let's start off with the down tokens, and they have been causing us a bit of duress over the past few days, even few weeks, but they are all starting to look pretty good. And we've got BNB at the moment, which is only 8% down. Clawing its way all the way back from, I think, about 35% was at its worst. And we are only 8% down. Remember, these are 3x tokens, so that is basically around about 2.5% away from break even. I do think that's actually going to come in possibly today, which is quite nice. And it's fully loaded with 4 safety orders as well. So I think we are actually going to let that run to target. BNB, the inverse trades. This has just announced it's got an AMA coming on the 25th of August, where they do usually announce some pretty exciting stuff. Although we haven't even hit safety order 1 on this yet, so I am not in any way worried. But I do feel that all of these longs, they're going to feel a little bit more pain. So let's not be surprised. BTC down trade that I put in, absolutely crushed it. But the actual BTC itself, we've just looked at, and it is actually breaking and testing this pretty key support right here at 23,650, and our short-term bear target has been filled. Next stop is looking around about 22,700, possibly even a little bit higher, about $22,847. Not to the nose, but you know what I mean, around about that. So it's one of those things where, like, we have short tokens, you know, like as soon as we lose this support right here, 23,600, then I am going to be looking pretty short. I do have one eye on the 20 and 50D EMA just because they can be pretty strong support. So if we break down on those, really there's not a huge amount stopping us going all the way down there. I say all the way down there, it's only 2.3%, but that can move the market quite a lot with a lot of money flowing out of USDT. You know, I think that the lower caps are really going to feel this. But the mid caps, maybe somewhat. High caps, not too much. EOS, this absolutely crushed it. They're having a rebrand reveal coming up soon. My only regret is I didn't make the TP higher. But it is what it is. EGLD has just filled safety order number 1, so we'll update that a little bit later today. With all of these reasons, I haven't updated them just yet is because I'm not gonna overcommit to any safety orders right now. Like I said, no point in catching knives. We're just gonna see where it falls after the dust settles. I think we're gonna be in for a little bit of pain from BTC over the next couple of days. I could be wrong. You know, some announcements on the actual Fed side of things could be super bullish. Similarly to how it was with the inflation data last week, I think it was, where BTC just pumped pretty hard. This time around, I don't think it's going to be that. ETH down. We actually closed that trade in a profit, but that's just heading up to take profit now. I mean, look at that. It just kind of went all the way down to safety order, and then pretty much in, you know, a matter of hours, straight up 13%. Phil, we actually got out of this trade to limit our exposure, and we got out, I think, at break even. HNT, this is just going to be a pain. I was really hoping that was going to break up, but again, I think we're not going to commit any more to this trade, and we're just going to let it play out, see where it goes. It is a good project, so I'm not too dismayed about that. But we have got the price down quite incredibly. I think about 17% at the moment. I think it's probably more than that, to be honest. JST, we actually closed this a bit early, which is a bit of a shame because that went straight up and hit TP. And I was confident in that trade, but in light of everything, I'd much rather just limit exposure and get out of it, because, you know, had this pump not occurred, then we could be down here, and instead we can just look to re-enter on this big dip that's incoming. KDA did just fill a a safety order. I was actually looking pretty bullish on that. You know, we are technically still fighting this argument for a descending wedge, although it's just changed a little bit. So we're now at the bottom of the descending wedge, but we are at the mercy of Bitcoin at the moment, so we're going to see how that all plays out. Clay has dumped hard. But that's not my actual... Oh, it looks much worse than it is, to be honest. That's a little bit more realistic as to where my first safety order is. So when I say dumped hard, you know, we got in a pretty good position, and it hasn't really done a huge amount. LDO, again, one of those assets. Wow, look at that pump up. It got slapped back down. So this is a good indication of, as soon as we see any relief, there's a lot of volume that's going to pile into it. LDO is one of those ones which I think, you know, I think it's just going to pump so quickly. So we are in a pretty good place with that. I think we have filled one safety order. The average buy price is down there. Everything's looking fine. Link is looking most promising of the down tokens to close first. Again, we're fully loaded. I think we're only 2.7% off, which is less than 1% now. We need Link to go down, and then we're going to be into the break-even territory. Woohoo! But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about with Link. It was easily one of the worst performing down tokens, and now it's just kind of reverted straight back up to the best performing. Like I said at the very start, this moves much quicker than the other assets like TRX and BNB. So not too worried, and it is all just about getting your average buy price down and letting the market do the rest. LPT, my FOMO trades, surprisingly doing well, like all things considered with the market, and where we got in, where we're at, it's actually not doing too bad. It's kind of amazingly holding this trend line pretty well, and it could end up really doing quite some profit. So we'll see how that goes. Mana tried to break out of the descending wedge, and it got slapped right back down. I'm going to kind of keep this formation because this looks like an invalidated breakout, and we're coming straight back into it. Now, we are facing somewhat of a bearish context here, because if we do break down on this trend line, really on any trend lines, it's never a good thing. But we are also breaking through this 50 DEMA. Which I've said, you know, historically DMAs are just quite notoriously strong for support and resistances. Mina, again, we've kind of got to rely a little bit more on BTC and some of this more news, positive news that from the roadmap and everything like that, for it to get back up. But ultimately, we are not in bad shape. We filled one safety order, and we have such low exposure. Comparatively, our exposure in all of longs is extremely low. We have just filled, by the looks of it, our first safety order for sand, and it's bounced, and our safety order's actually fallen very nicely on this support here. We don't particularly want to lose this support, but I kind of feel like we're going to see a lot of local supports break with the next dump down from BTC. But the good thing, like, every time BTC seems to be dropping, there seems to be a lot of volume that flies in. I think this is going to be market wide, so I'm not expecting a long-term bearish move from here. I don't think it's going to be drawn out. I think this is going to be quite short, sharp, painful. Yeah, not the three words you want to hear back to back, but at least it's short, you know. Next up, Sol. It's one of the big assets, isn't it? You know, I say we're never going to do badly with Sol. I think Sol is the front runner for being the next Luna. And I hate to say that, but given its track record for just how many issues it's had, consistent issues it's had, and it's meant to be the ETH killer, you know, I kind of lose a little bit of confidence in it as every day passes or as every report comes in. That's why it used to be in my big bag of holdings, and now it's not. Just because, like I said, there's so many amazing big assets out there that I don't really need to risk it. But for all its purposes, I do think it's going to go up, and I do think it's very safe. I always err on the side of caution. SRM, not looking brilliant. Like with everything, that's felt this recent dump quite hard. It's broken out of this descending wedge and also through the DMAs and also through this support. So this could go down for a little bit further. Not one of the biggest caps on our portfolio list. So, like I said, the medium to low caps are going to be feeling the money flowing out of the market this time more than the others. TRX down. TRX typical, holding its own pretty well, but we actually want that to dump so we can get up and out of this trade. But like with everything, I feel this is not going to escape the dump from BTC. XMR we're actually out of this trade. We closed that trade, so let's just double check that. Yeah, we're actually out of that trade, and we were, so I just wanted to leave this on here for bragging rights, to be honest. In fact, no, yeah, I remember that. We force closed it right about there, which I was very proud, which I was very proud of, catching the top, and the reason for that was actually this 200 DMA. Then from there, we dropped about 8.5%, so very happy with getting out of that trade. And XRP, I closed at break even. Just because whilst this was rattling around a lot, if I'd held on a little bit longer, then I could have pretty much got out at 4.5%, similar to the XMR trade, but I didn't. So the whole point of what we were doing was to limit exposure, and now we are down to 3 short trades in a very heavily bearish market, and we have 13 long trades open at the moment. General outline of safety orders. We have 1 trade at 4 safety orders. We have 2 trades at 2 long trades at 2 safety orders, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades at 1 safety order, which is extremely low exposure. We also have 3 short trades right now at 4 safety orders, with the Link and BNB probably going to close today. TRX, we'll see how that goes, but that should bring our overall exposure down hugely. But as far as having our biggest bags in short trades right now goes, that's pretty awesome, to be honest. A bit of a short video today, and of course, as always, if you want to have access to this Block Party portfolio, then it's called the Big Wick Energy, exclusive to Miser. We also have a 7-day free trial for everybody who wants to try out all of the Block Party premium services, including all 4 channels, the indicators, and it's as simple as just clicking on a link and you are in. No details or information required. And last but not least, give us a like and a subscribe. It fills us with warmth and bubbles, and it makes us want to make more content like this. Till next time.